Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. My name is, of course, Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram. Today we start off a brand new set of Marvel Legends reviews. As in front of me we have the brand new Monster Venom Build-A-Figure wave, and I thought what other way than to start the Venom wave than with Venom himself. A lot of people were asking for Carnage, but he is coming, don't you worry people. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, as in a couple of hours I promise I will put up the Carnage review. But we're starting with Venom today, and this figure we've had before, but there's a couple of new pieces, and we'll look at that and get into some comparisons. But as always, look at the box. You get the Spider logo at the top, a nice Venom logo here. Not sure if that's from the cartoon, the comics, I'm not sure. You tell me in the comments. On the side we've got some side art, which is looking nice on the white packaging, I must admit. On the back we get a bio, promo pictures, and of course, as always, you get a list of all the figures in this wave you need to complete the Monster Venom Build-A-Figure. Today we're reviewing Venom. So as I said, this packaging is the same as Marvel Legends packaging. They've just changed the colour, but I don't know what it is. It just pops on the shelf. It looks really good. So yeah, let's get this guy open. And here he is out of the box, and I must admit, first impressions are quite good. Obviously, I've got a warped leg, as I've literally just took this out of the box. So the leg's a little bit warped, so I have to get some hot water, cold water to that. But the rest of the figure looks all right, to be fair. I know it's just a reissue, but I just like what they've added. They had to add something, they couldn't just release the figure again. So they gave it an unmasked Eddie Brock head and then these like tentacle pieces. So I'll show you them in more detail in a minute. In regards to accessories, he does come with a normal Venom style head. Now this is different to the two we got with the last figure. And again, I'll get into comparisons as we go along, but it's nice to have more variety as always. And then we get the Build-A-Figure leg for the Monster Venom. Now in person, people, this is quite purple. Like I never noticed it in pictures before, but it's got a purple sort of shimmer to it. So it's like a very, very dark, shimmery purple, which is interesting, as I genuinely didn't think that. I just thought it'd be plain black. But yeah, it's got like a purple gloss. So subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, as I will be reviewing this very soon once I've reviewed the rest of these figures. But yeah, that is the Monster Venom leg, and it's not that big. So curious to see the size of Monster Venom once we've finished these reviews. But come back for that, let's look at Eddie Brock. So the Eddie Brock head, a lot of people were saying he suffers from big head syndrome. I know Shartimus Prime will definitely say he suffers from big head syndrome. But let's imagine a buff guy in a skin-tight symbiote suit. Now this suit is obviously like latex, whatever. It's meant to be skin tight across the body. And if that's the case, his head would look a little bit bigger when it's sort of slimmed down. So I don't think the head is that big for the body. I think the head is quite a good fit, especially with these tentacle pieces. Now these tentacle pieces, from what I've seen, plug in the back. So I'm assuming, yeah, so you can unplug, and there you go, you can take off these tentacle pieces. Now this is obviously the previous Venom figure, so I think it's the Hyperion or the Grim Reaper body mold. Again, if I'm wrong, correct me. But yeah, he's got the two peg holes, so you can peg these into the top. So you can have them without them if you want, but if not, you just peg them in the back, and it's a nice addition for your display. But I'll zoom in and show you the Eddie Brock head and the new head as well. So here's a close-up of the Eddie Brock head, and yes, he's blonde with big brown eyebrows, as I assume he dyes his hair. But it's not just a repaint of the Nuke head that I thought it might be. It is a brand new sculpt by the looks of it, and you can see his wrinkles there, and I don't think it is bad at all. And again, I don't think it's too big. I think it's just right, to be fair. Maybe a little bit, you can decide. But as I said, in the back, you've got two peg holes, so these like tentacly pieces, you put it over his head, and then you can plug it into the top hole of those two holes at the back, and then it stays on there nice and tight. And yeah, it just looks good for the display. If he was making like maybe a screaming expression, you could have him pose screaming as the symbiote's taking over his body, but I guess Eddie Brock's used to it by now, so you can have him standing there menacing with the symbiote taking over him, which I just think is a nice effect. So let's take off the Eddie Brock head, and I'm assuming you can make a custom Nuke body on, I don't know, maybe you can make a incognito Eddie Brock for yourself in civilian clothing. But here is the Venom head. So here's the Venom head with his sharp teeth, no tongue, no green goo, just his tongue, and I think it's quite good, to be fair. Decent painted detail, it's not sloppy paint or anything, it looks quite neat. Obviously they've just painted the top of the teeth red to show gums, but it's all sculpted as teeth, so maybe that could have just all been teeth colour rather than him having big gums. But again, that's just a small gripe. And so you can keep these tentacles on, or again, unplug them, take them off, and then you can just have your Venom with his evil grin. So I think Venom looks quite menacing, and if you don't have one in your collection, this is the perfect opportunity to jump on board, as it is a very iconic Spider-Man villain and Marvel character in general, to be fair. But this would be the perfect opportunity, if you didn't know who Venom was, to ask the question, Venom, who is he?
This is the part of the video where we ask the question, who is he? And I try and give you a little bit of information about the character this figure is inspired by. So, Venom. Who is he? Venom is an alien symbiote that has to bond with its host for survival. The symbiote originally bonded with Peter Parker to create that iconic black Spider-Man suit before bonding with Eddie Brock to create the Venom we all know. Venom's first appearance was in the Amazing Spider-Man 300 in May of 1988. As the symbiote originally bonded with Spider-Man, all of his hosts inherit Spider-Man's abilities, but Venom is much bigger in size and is much stronger. Other people have become Venom in the comics, as he is one of Spider-Man's greatest enemies, but the symbiote always finds his way back to Eddie Brock.
So there you go, I hope that helped. Again, I do not claim to be an expert, but it is nice to have a little bit of information about the characters these figures are inspired by. Now, for the first comparison, let's bring in the most recent Venom we have got. Now, these are basically the exact same figure. So now I have two Venoms. Obviously, I've got the other set of hands that we got with this Venom. This one didn't come with any set of hands. So that was probably the advantage of the earlier Venom, is that this guy come with a different pair of hands, and you got two interchangeable heads. But now we have three heads. So you got that one, mouth open, no tongue. This one, mouth open with tongue. And then the other head we got is just a normal grinning head as well. So if you've got both Venoms, you've essentially got four different heads for your Venom figure now. That's the advantage of having multiples, but otherwise they're exactly the same figure all the way around. The paint jobs are very similar as well. I think this older version seems to have more white paint on, or it's a different shade of white. I don't know if I'm just being fussy, but it's the same figure, people. It's the same figure. So I'm not even going to swap the heads, because they will work. All the heads will work. So yeah, advantage of having both Venoms if you've got lots of display options. Hey, maybe you can use one for pork rind as well. Someone in the comments wanted to know if the tentacles that come with the Back to Black Deadpool work. I think they also come with Agent Venom, that unfortunately I don't have. If anyone has an Agent Venom they want to get me, then let me know. But yeah, there you go, people, that works. So if you've got the Agent Venom or the Back to Black Deadpool that come with these back tentacles, then I'm guessing you can use them. And because it plugs into the bottom peg, you can put this on and plug it into the top peg, and now you can have double the tentacles. Does it fit? Yes, it does. So there you go. Now you can have double the tentacle action on your Venom if you wanted to. And again, that just makes it pop that little bit more on the shelf when it's got a bit of life to it. So yeah, I like it. That leg is still really warped, which is annoying me. But let's bring in some other of the symbiotes. Now we'll be able to do a much better symbiote comparison when we've opened Scream and the newer Carnage, and even Poison. But these are the two we have so far, Lasher and Carnage. Obviously this is the old Carnage that come with the Ultimate Hobgoblin, so this is at least 4 years old now. So we're going to get a reissue of this, and I will review the new Carnage next. So I'll repeat, this is the old Carnage, not the new one in the box. The new one in the box is right next to me. It's right here. So now I have two Carnages, but we shall compare the difference as well. But that is Lasher, so you can check out my Lasher review on the videos tab, as I do a breakdown of who this guy is as well. And again, when we have Scream, we'll be able to get all of the pretty coloured symbiotes up on the shelf and see what they look like. But yeah, these are looking good. And then here we have Eddie Brock, aka Venom, compared to Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, and of course the lovely Mary Jane Watson. And yeah, these are looking really good. Plenty of options on the shelf for displaying now and for dioramas and for ACBA. Hasbro are hitting us hard with Legends, and I do love the fact that we have lots of different options now. Not going to go over articulation in regards to the Venom because I'm sure you've all got at least one figure with this body mold. I just wish the traps weren't as big as underneath his armpit, so his arms would go down just a little bit more, but other than that it's okay. I like that they've painted all the way through the ab crunch, so the white is always there no matter how far back you've got him, and it's the same on the back as well, apart from that tiny bit at the top, but you wouldn't see it if you're having him that far forward, would you? But other than that, it's just a solid black with the white logo, and the articulation is what you'd expect, but my leg was warped out of the box, so I need to heat that up and straighten that out. But other than that, it's double jointed everywhere, and the head's, well, it's just a head. So yeah, you let me know what you think in the comments below. Is it worth the upgrade? If you've already got this Venom, are you even going to bother? Do you care that much about the unmasked Eddie Brock head? As I said, I always appreciate the updates. If anything, I could use one as a pork rind body, as I've already mentioned, and I'll show you that when I do my Spider-Ham review. But yeah, I really like this Venom, people. Not going to lie. Happy I've got it. I wasn't sure when I first seen the pictures if I really needed another Venom, but I've got him and I'm not complaining about it. So yeah, you let me know in the comments below. As always, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, as I will be reviewing this wave thick and fast. So let me know in the comments below who you want to see, any questions you have for the other figures, and I will try my best to answer them. But as always, people, my name is Dan W. Please, 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 please hit that subscribe button, much appreciated. And of course, I shall see you on the next one.